Hey guys, it's Anytime Reactions here, and welcome to my channel. So we're gonna be doing on this channel reacting to scary stuff, um, videos explaining stuff, crazy encounters, stuff like that. So sports videos, anything and everything. Just stuff that I choose. I'll probably create like little mini playlists with all the stuff that I do. But yeah, let's get started. So this video is gonna be about a guy who was almost homeless. Pretty much, he got fired from like 4 jobs, stuff like that. So yeah, we're just pretty much doing this. I'm gonna be doing it from my bed, as you can see. Just relaxing, and we're just gonna watch a video. So here we go.
For me, because I was so busy with multiple jobs at the same time. I couldn't focus on my studies, and my grades slipped severely. I was rejected by all the internships I applied for during my senior year. My degree was useless for me, and I had no other option but to rely on my part-time jobs for support. So, that's what my life had come to, doing part-time jobs to pay for my college tuition.
Normal,
But at the
usual
same
stuff.
time, failing to pass with good scores, and thus gaining nothing in the end. Even after my college was over, I was stuck with those part-time jobs. Nothing changed for me, but I had accepted this way of life. I was happy as long as I had a roof over my head and could earn plenty of money to afford food. I didn't really want much. I had made peace with whatever I was capable of getting. But it seemed as if I couldn't catch a break. Life just had to throw more troubles along the way of my somewhat smooth-going life. A tragedy hit the nation and there was an economic crisis. Companies started firing employees to cut costs. And not just companies. Even small businesses started firing their staff. Of course, I was no exception. I was fired from all of my part-time jobs. They were
Damn.
mostly the restaurants where I used to work as a waiter for different shifts. But they said they didn't need me anymore, and they had to cut their losses. It already sucks getting fired from
I've
one
never had
job.
that happen to me.
Getting
I've usually
fired from
quit a lot of
four
jobs, but
is like
other
bedlam.
people, I feel
I
bad
searched
for
for
people
a
that just
job
get
elsewhere,
fired and
far
they know
from
they
where
have to
my
pay
old
for a lot of
jobs were.
stuff.
But there was
That's just
nothing for
crazy,
me.
man.
I was unemployed now. On top of everything, I had to pay my home mortgage and college debt every month. My savings depleted over the next 2 months, and soon I was left with nothing. I knew what kind of days were waiting for me. I got the call from my creditors sooner than later. I had to either pay my accumulating interest now or vacate the house. Well, I didn't really have a choice. I didn't have a penny to pay for the interest, so that left me with one other option. I had packed whatever stuff I owned in a box and was ready to leave my home for good, when, out of the blue, I received a notification from my bank. I was expecting to see something
Usually
like
that's a good or
my
bad
account
thing.
being closed because of zero balance.
Exactly.
But it went completely in the other direction. About $100,000 had been added to my bank
Woo!
account out
My
of nowhere.
guy. I would have
Within
been
the next
like,
few minutes,
alright, that
I
sounds like a
received a message
trap.
from my creditors that they had received my monthly payment and I could stay in the house. After I had just packed up and was ready to leave.
Oh man, that's
The
annoying.
nerve. But besides that, how did my bank account go from zero to that much money within a
Exactly.
matter of seconds?
100,000? Wait,
Did
how did your
someone
bank
add
even
money
let
to
you
my
get
account
that
by
much money in
mistake?
there? Most banks
Or
give you a limit.
maybe it was a mistake on the bank's part. What if I had actually gone insane
Like
and
mine
was
says a
seeing things?
$5,000 limit. I can't
Which
go
won't
higher than that.
surprise me, in all honesty. I just
I
read
don't
the
know.
message
Maybe he had a custom
over
type
and
of bank account.
over again. I just went from on the verge of becoming homeless to out of the woods in 2 minutes. What was the bank playing at? I wanted to call my bank and ask what was happening, but on the other hand, I was afraid of doing so. What if they say it was a mistake and take everything away from me? I didn't want to have a scare like that again. I couldn't sleep that night. I was too busy thinking of all the possible reasons why this happened. The next morning, I received a message from my bank again. I was kind of afraid to open it. What if they realized it was a mistake? Might as well kiss my life goodbye and hand it over in a gift basket.
Exactly.
Again, it was completely different from what I had thought. Another $1,000 was added to my account. Okay, what is actually going on now?
Yeah, I'm like, something
Is
fishy.
this money really for me? Like, mine to use? I decided to test it. I made transactions to all my creditors, paying for the crazy amount of student debt I was in, along with all the interests.
Nice.
And, to my horror, all the transactions were successful. Which meant, in simple words, I was debt-free. Which isn't something a lot of people can say. Day after day, I kept receiving huge amounts of money into my account. And it was great and all, Until I realized by the end of the week that what was happening was wrong. I could get in serious trouble if word
Yeah, if
about
you
this
get caught,
got
you're
out.
done.
I decided to inform my bank and come clean about what was happening and how much I had spent.
I mean,
made
I'm
a
not gonna go to
document
them
with
unless they
accountant
ask
in
me
charge of my bank
questions.
account. When it was time for my
If they say they're gonna
appointment, I
take
was
action and call
greeted
the
by this
police, then I'll
very
show up. But
gorgeous
other than
woman
that,
who
I
went by
ain't
the
gonna say
name
nothing.
Anne. I've seen her the few times I've been there, but I didn't know
I'm gonna be a
she
little
was
worried
the
though.
accountant. She told me to follow her to her office. She locked the doors and told me to take a seat. I was pretty nervous the whole time, to be honest. I didn't know what was going to
I'm
come
gonna
out
still
of
inform
this.
you
It
either have to
was
pay this
driving me
amount or you're going to
crazy.
jail. I would have
Anne
been
sat
like,
opposite of me and looked
man.
over all the bank documents I had handed over to her. She looked at me and said that she didn't see any problems. I'm sorry. What? How? How is there no problem? I was receiving money that wasn't even mine in huge sums. I didn't even have a job. She asked if there was a time where I had absolutely $0 in my account. And I, not so calmly, told her that money started appearing left and right. Money that I wasn't earning. I did admit that I used the money to pay off my debts and mortgage. Anne waited until my crazed rant was over. She said something like, "You can relax. You did nothing wrong. That money was supposed to help you. There's nothing wrong with paying
Okay,
it
watch
back.
what she says next, bruh.
It was meant for that purpose."
She's gonna say it soon.
Now, I heard what she said, but I didn't process it. She seemed to have caught on. She said, "Look, we know that you've had rough times, and as your bank, it's our duty to help you.
First of all,
We
they would never
notified
do
your
some
bank with
stupid
$0
stuff like
in your
that. A
account.
bank would
It was time to
never
take
call
action
you
in your
saying,
situation.
if you went down in the
That's
bottom
why
of the
we added
critter
that money to your
of
account.
life, they would
Help
be
you
like,
get
we're
through
gonna
this
help you
troubled
out.
time.
We're gonna drop
You
100K
weren't
in your
going to
lap.
unstick
They
me
would
from the
never
chair.
do
I was
that.
sweating so much.
And if they did,
To add
bro,
to that,
you better
she
worship that
continued
bank.
talking.
Because,
She was
bruh,
like,
that's
"It's a good
crazy.
thing you stopped by
That's just
today.
crazy,
We
man.
have something else to offer to you." She reached into her drawer and pulled out a credit card and offered it to me. My
Be
jaws
careful with
were
those.
stiff from the amount of time I hadn't moved, but I took it from her. She then went on to explain that the card was an unlimited card, meaning I could spend
What?
as much money as I wanted, and it
Cap.
wouldn't even run out.
Cap.
First of all, I'm pretty sure cards like that are illegal,
Cap.
don't exist,
Unless you got it from the
or
deep
would
web.
get me arrested in huge debt.
Mm-hmm.
But I was
But
desperate.
maxing out the credit card and
The
then
crisis
don't have to
back
pay it
then,
at all.
You needed as much financial support as you could get. I wasn't
An
really
unlimited
ready for
card. I
that
wish I could have
crisis.
that. Buy all of my film
I was
equipment.
staring at the card like it was an alien
That I always
artifact.
wanted.
Anne knew what I
Drones
was
and
thinking.
stuff.
It's pretty obvious, anyways. She went on to say something like, "As I said, it's our duty as your bank to help customers through
That's
this troubled
cap.
time. We know how bad the
That is
situation
cap.
is with the economic downfall. We're doing our best to help our loyal customers the best we can. Please don't hesitate with this. It's all on us. You can spend your heart's content. You don't have to worry about anything ever again."
Cap.
Bro,
Bro. That's cap.
I was desperate. I didn't pay attention. I wasn't really focused on her tone. Me? Doing this? Accepting the
Spend
card?
it to your heart's content.
I had
So you're
nothing to
telling
lose.
me I'm about to go buy me a helicopter
Maybe
right
my
now,
credit
and you're
score
gonna be fine with
clean
that?
record.
That's about
She
what?
told me to sign
50,000?
some
No,
papers before I
50.
left.
Probably like
I was
$100,000
always
for a
told to read
helicopter or
through
something.
everything before you sign.
And you're telling me I could go use that? Cause I'm gonna go do that right now. I'm gonna test it.
I read the first
So I gotta pay all that
pages,
back though.
just about the unlimited card and some terms and conditions, and told me I didn't have to read through all of it, that they simply stated that the bank is voluntarily providing me the card for personal use, and that I'm free to use it as I wish. I should have read them, but I didn't.
You dumb.
That was my mistake.
Oh my
Back then,
gosh.
I was excited, but I had no idea that I was signing a deal with the devil. I was so happy
But
at
like,
the
you
idea
signing
of
a
getting
deal, shake my
everything I
hand.
desired that I didn't see Anne's true intentions.
Oh gosh.
I was such a
But like,
fool.
all that money
All I could
is
see
is
was
gonna come right
money
back.
and satisfaction at that time. She said we were done and told me to enjoy my life, and that's exactly
That's
what
cap.
I did. Lots of enjoyment it was. The first thing I did was buy myself a new house in an upper-class neighborhood.
Oh
I threw a
no.
housewarming party after that. and
No.
invited all my friends and relatives, including my parents.
Bro, I would have took this to my
It looked
parents or
like
something. I would have been
everyone's
like, yo,
faces
come
were
look at this,
priceless.
man.
My friends who had always had it easy and grew up in wealthy households were jealous of me now. The girls from my college, who had always looked past me, were now asking if I was single. My older brother, who had a job in a multinational company and who had always insulted me at any given chance, was now speechless. My parents, especially, were the most surprised. No one had ever expected me to have so much wealth, let alone such a large house. A few even asked me how all of this had happened. I just said fate had changed in its plans.
Wish I
Of
could win the
course,
lottery.
I wasn't going to tell
Something
them
like
my real
that.
secret. After most of the people left, my parents came up to me.
Son,
My dad commented
that's a
about
trap.
how happy he was to
And you
see
just
how
got
I've
caught in
achieved
it.
all this and blah blah blah. I clearly remembered how he used to compare me to my brother all the time, saying that I was never going to get anywhere in life. My mom added that they could now depend on me in their old age. That was something she used to always say to my brother, and she used to tell me that I was a disappointment as a son because I didn't even have a proper job. Well, not at the time, at least. I couldn't help but feel a bit bitter towards my parents. I didn't say anything to them in reply because I didn't want to yell at them and then regret it later. Though I highly doubt I would. I just told them to leave. After that day, I used the card on everything that I had ever desired, from clothes to accessories and all the stuff that caught my eye.
I would have
I
bought
even
some
went
vending
abroad on a few
machines. I would have
vacations,
bought.
having the
I
time
would have bought a
of my
laundromat. Got that
life.
set up.
Amidst all this,
I'll be
my
like, because
so-called friends
even
and
if it's a
family
trap,
tried to contact me many
I could pay
times.
it back.
I didn't pay attention to them.
Especially with the vending
When I
machines and
returned
stuff. I just have to
home
buy
after
stuff
spending
that's gonna
about
make a lot
2
of money.
months
Like
abroad,
Good
I was
Investments is AutoZone.
exhausted.
When I worked there,
Now that the
even with
thrill
COVID,
and
through a
exhilaration was
virus,
over, I slowly
people
came
need
to
cars to
realize how
get
lonely
places.
I
So
was.
AutoZone's a good investment.
Sure,
I
I
probably
had
would have bought an
money and
AutoZone,
everything, but
maybe a couple
I
of them,
didn't have a genuine person in my
you know,
life.
to pay the money back.
I'd already grown distant from my family. My friends only wanted to see me because I had money. I couldn't get a girlfriend because I couldn't trust any girl.
Mm,
It seemed to
it's
me
true.
that everyone wanted to talk to me just for my money.
Mm.
I felt like I was happier before all this happened. At least I could tell who was genuinely interested in me and who was not. I was at peace with my life, and honestly, that was everything that I had ever wanted. Sure, money was an important factor too, but now that I had a taste of this extravagant life, I realized that I was not cut out for this. I was satisfied with the way I was before, and I wanted to go back to that. After thinking about it over the next few days, I decided to return the card to the bank. When I went back, Anne was there to see me.
You owe.
She greeted me rather casually, and that surprised me slightly. We were so formal for the first time, and now it seems like we were on a first name basis. I didn't want to waste any time. I placed the card in front of her on her desk. I told her I couldn't use the card anymore and that I wanted to return it. She didn't even blink. She asked me if I was bored of it already. I was nervous when I first walked
What?
into the bank, but I was sweating bullets by that time.
Yeah, I would have been like,
I
what?
told her that even
That's
though it
not a
gave me
that's
the
not a
money I wanted,
safe response.
it wasn't what I needed. I didn't want it anymore. Anne's entire persona changed. Instead of the no one suspects the accountant personality, it turned into the accountant was behind it all personality. She said something like, "Are you really that dumb? Why would anyone, let alone a bank, give you free money to spend like that?
Oh
Did you
no.
lose your brain somewhere? I can't believe it was so
I knew it.
easy
I would
to
have been
convince you."
like,
I didn't know whether I wanted to run away or crawl into a hole. She was like, "All that money you got into your accounts and the money you spent using the card was borrowed money. You basically borrowed the money from the bank. No
so
one
there you
asked
go.
you for it.
Oh
Now that
my
I'm
god.
reliving this,
You're
I realize how
done.
stupid
What
it
did
sounds.
what do you thought was gonna
Of course
happen?
it
I would have
was.
been like, I'm gonna owe this.
Back then,
I would have been like,
sounded
even it.
hopeful.
I would have been like,
I
even
told
if
her
I would
just
have
something
owed,
about how it was the
I'd be
best
like, I'm gonna
place in the
spend to my
galaxy.
heart's content, and at the end of
Everyone
the
she
end of
said.
the at
And
the end of my lifetime, y'all can
quite
collect
easily.
everything I own and just sell
Can't
it and
believe
see
how
if you can match it
desperate
up.
we were. And then I brought up the papers and contract I signed, and she said, "Oh yeah, that contract? Do you know what that contract said?"
Oh,
No,
this
I
dude.
actually
Oh,
didn't, because you told me not to read it. It basically says that you're borrowing money from the bank on a loan, and you'll pay it back with interest within 1 year of signing. I will admit, this was not something I expected.
How did you not know this was gonna happen?
Did she
He must
really
have been
lie
not
to me
very
and ruin my
knowledgeable.
life
That's
in a mere
like bank.
day?
That's like bank law 101. That's just
She
like
did.
that's the rules of
I
money.
told her I
General.
don't have that kind of money
You just
to pay
spit.
back, and
You're
she
basically
offered me
using a giant
solution.
credit card.
A solution, may I add, that was not fun. She said if I do whatever she asked me to, she'd let this whole thing slide. The bank will never find out about the contract and loan. had to agree.
How did she gonna do
I had
that?
no
I mean,
choice.
I never know how much power those accountants
I
and
did
stuff
ask
have.
her why.
They probably
she
can
did
do
all
some
this.
shady stuff and wipe it clean
She
from the
just
bank
sighed in
finding
my
out.
face and
Probably.
said,
I mean,
"You
it's
should
all
be
digital
grateful that I
money,
like
so
you. Otherwise,
they
you
probably
would
can
be
do
in
some
jail
crazy stuff.
right
I don't know.
now for breaching the contract and taking huge amounts of loans when you're not able to pay them back." What did she mean that she liked me? Probably not the most important thing to think about. But seriously? What did she mean? Was she out of her mind? If she really liked me, then why would she do such a despicable thing to me? I know my extreme stupidity was to be blamed, but what she did was beyond horrendous. I agreed, unfortunately.
Sorry, I just thought
She
of something,
told me I
guys.
could leave.
Well, if
and
you
that
guys
she'd
see me
call me the
spacing out a
next
little
day
bit,
to give me her
I'm thinking of
address.
something.
That definitely wasn't good.
Just Sandra.
Again, that was one of those nights.
I mean, he
that
about
I
to get a
wasn't
double
able to
plus
sleep.
though. That means I'll be like, "Yo, we can make a deal." I said, "Okay, we can go out and all that the third, but let me keep spending this card
What was I even thinking?
full of money because I'm about to be buying helicopter." I said,
right.
"Oh, I'm gonna be
I
buying
was
businesses
desperate.
first. That's
So
the first
much
thing.
so that I believed
Laundromats,
people
like I said,
everybody from
AutoZone,
the bank.
vending
But
machines,
there was
stuff
no
that's gonna
use
make me
whining
money
now.
as a
What
safe.
mattered
It's
now
gonna be a
was getting
safety
out of
net,
this
so I can
situation.
pay back the
The
money."
next day, Anne called me.
So
like
it's
she
kind of
said
like
she
what
would.
businesses do. Like
She wanted me
it's
to
kind of like what
come to her
movies do.
house.
They buy all the
I found her
equipment.
waiting for me
The
in the
movie does
driveway.
well,
She got inside my
and
car
it
without
goes
saying
over the
a
amount of
word.
budget. So like they
She
give you a
told me to
$500,000
just follow her
budget.
directions as we drove.
The movie performs over
I
$1 billion.
asked her where we were going.
Well, you got all the
She
you paid
told
for the
me
budget and
we
you
were
got over
going to
money.
some
So
college
that's why it's always
reunion
important
things.
to make a good movie and
When
stuff. But that's
proceeded
pretty
to
much
tell
how it
her, I
works.
was going to pretend to be
I like that
her
method of
boyfriend in the
thinking,
meantime. If I was driving,
but you have to
I would
market really
slam
well.
the
Like
brakes,
so, if you're ever
shut
borrowing
off
from a
my
bank,
car, and drove off.
100,000,
But I
get a
didn't,
business or something
and
in the
couldn't.
small one. So like if you're gonna
I
buy
asked her why of all things would I
like a
pretend to
Lambo,
be her boyfriend, and she was like,
let's say you want to buy a
"Because I said
Lamborghini,
so."
and the Lamborghini's
Or,
like,
I don't mind.
or you want to
We
buy a
can always
Lamborghini
go
and buy a
back to the
small car.
bank and talk about your
Well,
loans.
you would buy the Lamborghini,
Well, I
then you
couldn't
would
really argue
buy,
with her. I got myself in this mess.
or yeah, you just
I
buy the
had to read
Lamborghini
what
and
I
have
said.
some extra money.
We reached the
Buy
place
use
where
that to buy the
cars get
business.
parked.
Then
It
that
was
would
really
be able to
embarrassing
pay.
and awkward for me.
If you market yourself right,
Pretending to be a
you'd be able to
boyfriend of
pay
a
the
girl
Lambo,
who basically single-handedly
interest, and
broke
whatever
my
you
heart.
are. If you market
She was
wrong
controlling me like a puppet.
and it
doing
don't
as
work,
she
then
pleased.
so it's like that. It's pretty
I
much you have
really
to
didn't
if you're
understand
gonna
if she really
take a
liked
big
me,
loan,
or she was simply doing it to
be
torment
sure to
me.
make sure it sells
The
to be
party
able to get it
finally
back.
came to an
So
end. I drove Anne back to her home. When she got out of the car, she told me she had something else for me to do. What did she want now? I followed her into her house, and she grabbed a bucket and handed it to me. She said, "I have a rat problem in my room.
can't you
Get
hire
rid of the
somebody
dead
for that?
ones." I would have rather cleaned her car with my tongue than handled dead rats.
Ugh.
But I had no choice. I had to do it. Just had to sacrifice my pride and dignity to do it. While I was de-ratting her room, cursing my life and my stupid self, something shone from under the carpet. I'm not the prying type, but considering my circumstances, I made an exception. I pulled the thing from under the carpet. It was a very familiar black shiny card. The unlimited card that had brought me here in the first place. I was about to toss it away when a thought suddenly struck my mind. Why was the unlimited card hidden like that? And why was it still here? What if it could still be used? I was no longer the owner of the card. That meant if I used the card, all the expenses would go into
Oh
Anne's.
no.
Maybe, just maybe, I had a chance to get back at her. If I spent using her card, then she would be under a lot of debt and would get in trouble with the bank. And since she was an employee there, it wouldn't go unnoticed for sure. I hid the card in my pocket and got back to my work. After I was done, Anne told me to go back home for the day. She told me to come back in the morning and prepare breakfast for her. She didn't know that I was never going to come back. I had the key to my freedom now. The following day, I put my plan into action. I used the card to buy all sorts of crazy stuff, most of which I didn't even look at when I first bought. I used it to buy villas and properties across the country.
Whoa! Why would she get that bill? Oh my god!
While I was at it, I also made big donations to various charities. All in all,
Oh
by the
man,
end of the
that
day, I
bill.
was pretty sure I had made the bank go bankrupt.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Anne had been calling me all day, but I blocked her number in the end. Now I just had to wait to witness the downfall of Anne, along with her job and the bank. What do you think about my story so far? Do you think I did the right thing? Would you have done
I mean, it's
something
kind of
else if you were in
it's
my
payback.
place?
I would have did that. I would have did that. I'm not even gonna cap YouTube. Like I would have did that. It's messed up, but it's crazy. All right, man. That's the end of this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. We're gonna be doing another one, probably like a scary video reaction. But yeah. So I'll see you guys in the next video, the second video of the new channel. So this is Anytime Reactions. Peace out.